Good evening, and we begin at 5 with light rail potentially coming to Vancouver, and the city now considering spending $12 million on a prime piece of downtown real estate, an open lot that could become the light rail transit center if and when the Interstate Bridge project goes through. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Of course, the project's not a done deal yet, as Oregon lawmakers debate putting up their share, $1 billion for the bridge. Tim Gordon is in Vancouver for us. Tim, the mayor of Vancouver says this is a good deal no matter what.
Yeah, Laurel, David, the mayor really, though, wants a transit hub, a major transit hub, to take over this field. But she figures the price is right, even if a new bridge plan falls apart. It's an open lot with a lot of upside for the future of transportation in Vancouver, and the mayor likes the price.
The developer gave us quite a donation, so it'll be a $12 million investment.
$12 million for 3.18 acres, land that appraisers say is worth $18 to $20 million. At Evergreen and C Streets, it's on the east side of downtown, next to the Vancouver Community Library and some historic parts of the city. But it is also adjacent to I-5 and the planned Max light rail route along the interstate. You can see the route in yellow on this planned drawing for the interstate bridge replacement.
This will be the new transit mall where light rail stops, where all of our bus rapid transits come together, where our local buses come together.
Mayor Ann McInerney-Ogle says the city has been eyeing this property since 2007. It's been considered a good spot for a transit hub before with the failed Columbia River Crossing project. We talked to a few people visiting the library who like the idea of it this time around.
This is so central to the city core. It seems like a good way to put together all the cool things that are in the area and really give people access to it.
As long as it's done safe and it's, secure and there's security of some sort, or that's thought about at least, being so close to where I bring my kiddos a lot, I think that's, I'm okay with it. And for the price in this area, if we can get to go across the bridge or go north or south, I'm happy with that.
City Council will consider the deal at a council meeting on Monday, but they've already been working on it, and the mayor believes it will be approved with the purchase of this land in June with $12 million in city funds in place.
And we'll be able to recoup that. But this is an opportunity for us to get things together, control the development of this particular site, a little over 3 acres, and then we'll work with IBR in the future. But that's our big concern right now. We need to make sure that Oregon understands this is a project that we desperately need.
The mayor, a big proponent of a new I-5 bridge replacement. In fact, she'll be down in Salem tomorrow, lobbying lawmakers in Oregon to do their part to make it happen. Laurel?
A lot more to come on this for sure. Tim Gordon in Vancouver. Thanks, Tim. A new report claims homelessness is falling in the Portland metro area. Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas counties released their joint point-in-time count today. The survey process happened early this year. Participants were asked where they slept on the night of January 24th. According to the numbers, chronic homelessness is down 17% across the Tri-County area compared to 2022. Officials cite efforts to get people into shelters and to expand shelter space. However, we're still digging into the newly released numbers and asking for clarification on some of the methodology. We'll bring you an update tonight at 11.
One of the biggest criticisms of the point-in-time count is that it only tells part of the story. It is essentially a head count with no easy way to track progress or success. So local leaders pitched a plan to track every single homeless person in Portland by name. Let's bring in investigative reporter Kyle Aboshi. Kyle, it has been 2 years. Do we have anything close to a list?
David, this is part of an ongoing series we're doing, looking back at various projects aimed at addressing the homeless problem in Portland, basically whatever happened. And tonight, we're revisiting that proposal to create a list by name of every person living in the streets. City and county leaders approved the plan in February of 2021. 2 years later, do we have that list of names?
We're not nearly there. We do not have a by name list, and we need one.
Multnomah County Commissioner Sharon Myron admits the project got off to a very slow start. The initiative, called Built for Zero, is intended to collect real-time data, including the names of people experiencing homelessness and details about their history, so they can be matched with resources like mental health, addiction treatment, or rent assistance. This person-specific data helps communities coordinate efforts they'll know what's working and what's not. In April, the City County's Joint Office of Homeless Services released its first monthly data report focused on a specific homeless population, the chronically homeless. Currently, the program has a list of 2,800 people who are chronically homeless, which means they're disabled and have been homeless for at least a year. Those involved in the project say they've spent a lot of time building the system, and a system that works, and making sure the data is reliable. Now, we'll have our full report on the story coming up at 6. Certainly hope you'll stick around for that.
Important issue. I appreciate the follow-up there, Kyle. Looking forward to it. Okay, for the second time in a week, a bomb threat has disrupted a school in Eugene. South Eugene High School canceled classes today. Police searched the campus but found no bomb or any danger. All students and staff are safe. A similar threat was made against the school last week.
Police also dealt with a reported threat at Jefferson High School in Marion County today. They got a call someone was at the school armed with a gun and was shooting. Police say they found no evidence that actually happened, but they locked down and evacuated students as a precaution. Authorities are working to figure out where the fake threat came from.
Detectives will try to follow that up to see where the call came from if possible. It is probably worth mentioning that this also occurred back in March at the same location, and that was determined to be a hoax, if you will. It was not real, and so now here we are again today.
The rest of the school day went on as normal. Anyone with information about who called in the threat should contact authorities. On the topic of school security, school resource officers could return to Portland public schools. But here's the deal. It's looking like it might not be in the traditional sense. At least that's the recommendation from a group tasked with studying the issue. Let's bring in Mike Benner from outside Lincoln High School. Mike, break this down for us.
Yeah, Laurel, some people at home might remember the handful of shootings outside Portland high schools in a short amount of time. Well, after that, the superintendent launched the Safety and Security Task Force to examine school safety across the district, including at Lincoln High School, where we are tonight. Now, something this task force was looking at was bringing back SROs. Remember, the program was disbanded back in 2020. Well, this task force believes there should be a police presence at schools, but not necessarily inside schools. The task force would like to station officers near school buildings. This would make them available to respond to violence. They could also deter crime. Now, what these officers would not do is respond to every mental health emergency. The task force hopes to get a pilot program up and running this fall in order to determine the exact role of these officers. In the meantime, we wanted to get Mayor Ted Wheeler's take on all of this. He says if the police bureau is behind this, he is too. Listen.
I personally am not involved in those discussions. The Portland Police Bureau is, the chief is involved in those discussions. I've delegated him to be our representative in those conversations, and if they reach a compromise, I'll support it.
Now, the Safety and Security Task Force did make a number of other recommendations beyond the presence of officers near schools. They suggest creating a community walking patrol where trusted adults would walk kids to and from school. They also suggest requiring all middle and high school students to wear ID badges. Nothing's been set in stone yet. A lot of meetings still to come, and we'll, of course, stay on top of it. For now, back to you.
Yeah, Mike Benner outside Lincoln High. Thanks, Mike. In Troutdale early this morning, a fire broke out in a building on Reynolds High School grounds. Gresham Fire says the building used for storing sports equipment near the track was burning when they pulled up. The worst of the damage is on the top floor there. No word on the cause.
In Salem, the Senate Republican walkout continued today, bringing their absence to day 8. Senate Democrats did meet with Republicans to discuss the GOP walkout, but they didn't come to an agreement. Republicans say their walkout is because certain bills don't meet state-required readability standards. Democrats call that an excuse, saying the real purpose is to block legislation on abortion and gun safety. A new voter-passed law prevents any legislator with 10 or more unexcused absences from running for re-election. Republicans are now at 8, and some say they'll challenge the constitutionality of that law in court.
Well, just into the KGW newsroom, a controversial Portland school board candidate is dropping out of the race again. Derek Peterson made the announcement on his campaign webpage this afternoon. He previously withdrew from the race last week, but then reversed and reportedly said he would serve if elected. Now, Peterson was a longtime captain with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. His campaign was seemingly cut short after reports from Rolling Stone magazine exposed ties to prominent Christian nationalists. In the statement, he denies being a Christian nationalist and says he stands by his life's work. Again, he is now saying he is officially out of this race. The special election is on May 16th.
In Vancouver, police arrested a 17-year-old in connection with 4 drive-by shootings. One was in Vancouver, another in Clark County outside of city limits, and 2 others were in Portland. Investigators say recovered guns connected the suspect to the shootings. He was arrested on Monday. He has been booked but not publicly identified.
Well, to an update this evening on police cracking down on shoplifting. Authorities say they arrested 23 people during an operation last week focused on stores in Tigard. Police add they recovered about $10,000 worth of stolen goods, along with pills they believe contain fentanyl. Many of those arrested are teenagers.
Police are looking for whoever vandalized City Hall in Oregon City. 2 people cut down a tree in the City Hall parking lot. This happened early Monday morning. Security video appeared to capture the suspects. Oregon City Mayor Denise McGriff said in part, quote, "Cutting down a perfectly healthy tree on public property is concerning behavior that will not be tolerated." It's not apparent why the tree was cut down.